discussion about the word good. It's interesting that we're wrestling, some of us are wrestling with the energies right now, but the word good is spelled tet. Here's that tet again, Lisa, as you know, the tet, and it's a vav and a bet. So when we take a look at it, it's the initial first letter is letting us know that in wrestling, it's all good because it's meant to connect here. The wrestle is producing something with that vav, that expansion of connecting our higher self and our lower self from that which is beyond to that which is now. And then the bet, the twin energies and our temple and building. And so when we can recognize there's a wrestle or a struggle, knowing that it's all good. But the other aspect of it is, and one of the ones that most of us have had to wrestle through, and some of us are still wrestling in it, is that literally everything here is good because it is the wrestle. Meaning with the bet having two energies, tree of good and evil, positive, negative pole, you know, the protagonist and the antagonist, everything is for our highest good. So therefore, when we look and we see these things that are projecting in our world and they're coming back to us, we can stop and pause and reflect and tarry, using that word from our Song of Solomon from a couple weeks ago, that we can sit and tarry in these things and reflect upon them and go, it is all good. I'm changing my perceptions and my perspectives to realize the fruit that is being produced. I'm going to take it one step further. What I was reviewing, Renee, Ellie was asking about the scripture where it says, where Yeshua was talking to someone that called him good master or good teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life? And his response was, you know, to not call man good, that there's only one, and that's God, essentially. Well, I decided to take a look at it because, of course, she throws that scripture at me, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's going to throw what I said out the window. But I knew that what I was saying was resonating as truth in here. I felt it, intimately felt it. So I knew it as to be truth. So I went and decided to look at it, and I thought, oh, how interesting. What we don't see in English, and I'm not going to take the time to show you the scripture right now. I'm just going to share with you because for some reason I'm feeling like I need to bring this out. So it could be that I'm just needing to hear this. Maybe you guys need to hear this. Maybe this is something that we're all needing to connect to this morning. But when the phrase good teacher or good master was used, instead of the word tov, it was tava. Interesting. Now, translators would use the word good, and they wouldn't distinguish the difference of why one was tov and one was tova. In tova, the aleph is added on the suffix. So he's calling Yeshua tova as good master. But what we get back in English when it says that to call no man that except for one, which is God. When you take a look at that in the progression of its letters, there's a word used as no. And see, translators would not have any idea what to do with this. They would literally not have any idea. And I can see where their thinking is on this. Because the word, the root is aleph yod tav. The aleph is removed and the lamed is put in place. The word no in Hebrew, one of them anyway, is lamed aleph. Well, we know that the yod is the active form of the aleph, correct? It's like the doing, it's the spark, it's that energy. So all of a sudden the aleph is removed, the yod is still placed in there, and the lamed gets put in front of it. So they translate it as no. But the process was a staff of authority is given to those who have the power and have completed the work of the covenant that have become one as Allah. They are the Tovah. So it's not that they need to connect anymore because the spelling goes from Tet Vav Bet to Tet Bet Aleph. Oh my gosh. But in English, you don't see it that way, and it's not translated that way because the translators literally at the time of translation did not know what to do with some of these anomalies, especially the lamed yod tav. They're like, well, that has to certainly mean no. No, it doesn't, because the lamed was added. Authority is given to the shepherds that are no longer sheep or goats. They're shepherds. So tovah is when we enter into the absolute state. So the word tov in itself with the wrestle in the front, the vav in the middle is saying connect, 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 connect. Connect the two energies on the inside. So you're going to wrestle until it happens. But once it's done, you don't have it to connect anymore. You are as is completed. You are tavah. And that is one, chad, het dalet, found life, delivered themselves, and is Allah, strong leader teaching shepherds that reveal the absolute. Anyway, It's a long segue that I spent 10 minutes in sharing, but again, I felt like it was something that I needed to share with you guys today for what was coming up on my radar. And even in this wrestle, even with our own flesh suits, because that wrestle is producing something on the inside so that we become the good master. Maria, the sovereigns, Tova, we wrestled and we became in an absolute state. And of course, that would make everything new, and including our avatar. So I just embrace it, go out and ground, do what you got to do, but it's all happening just as it's supposed to be, and all is good.